very stingy. It's Mayavad. Gorakhpur is a place of Mayavad. There is a Gita Press, Gorakhpur, which is very famous. And Srila Prabhupada used their Gita with Padached. Padached means analytical, word, grammar, and analysis of a particular word. So, word and synonym plus meaning. So, direct meaning, and Prabhupada said this is standard. But interpretation is where the question is. So, there is no bhakti. All right. At least the Radhakrishna temple was lively, and Prabhupada hoped the directors of Gita Press would turn to Krishna Niketan building over to ISKCON permanently during time of Prabhupada, and we don't have anything yet. So we just acquired a new property. Prabhupada continued lecturing morning and evening for 3 consecutive evenings. He spoke on a single verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita, defeating the Mayavad arguments that the absolute truth is ultimately impersonal Brahman. Mayavadi philosophers say that the absolute is impersonal and that there is no different energy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's challenge is that the absolute truth has got multi-energies. Suppose someone has a big business, a big factory. So if the proprietor says that I am all-pervading all over the factory, that is correct. Take, for example, Birla. They say Birla's factory. Birla's name is there. Although Birla is a person and he is not personally present in that factory, everyone says Birla's factory. That means Birla's money, Birla's energy is there. If there is any loss in that factory, and the suffer goes to Birla. So if there is any gain in the factory, the profit goes to Birla. Therefore, Birla's energy is there, and factory, similarly, the whole creation is manifestation of Krishna. Everything there is Krishna. His energy is represented by his energy. That is called simultaneously one and different, achintya bheda bheda tattva. Discussing preaching in America, Prabhupada said that Western world was 99% in the mode of ignorance and passion. Although America was the richest nation on earth, its youth were becoming hippies, much to the dismay of the parents and government leaders. So despite their wealth, they were unhappy. They were ripe, however, for understanding spiritual knowledge. This is the causeless mercy of Chaitanya. Now you can see that these boys, when they are chanting, how are they in ecstasy? They are immediately on the transcendental platform. Not only here, everywhere they are chanting in every temple. The advantage of these boys and girls is that they have no hodgepodge in their head. They directly accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they directly accept the instructions of the Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, they are making advancement. Their fortune is that their brain is not congested with the hodgepodge ideas. They have given up all other occupations and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in India, we can also do that. What is the difficulty? We must do this. Just accept this, Krishnastu Bhagavana Swayam, and surrender to him. Prabhupada celebrated the appearance of day of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj and Gorakhpur. At the morning gathering, he said, we should honor this day and the very respectful way pray to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami that we are engaged in your service, so give us strength, give us intelligence. We are being guided by your servant, So in this way we have to pray. And I think in the evening we shall distribute prasadam. There will be so many guests coming, so they can distribute prasadam. Prabhupada said life members and other friends should be invited for the flower offering at noon. One of the devotees asked about the feast, and Prabhupada said, feasting means puri and halwa and vegetable and chutney. That's all. 4 things. Make it simple. Tamakrishna Maharaj. Prabhupada, you want us to offer a feast to your Guru Maharaj at the noon time? A special plate of feast? Prabhupada said, not a special plate. The process is that whatever we offer to the deity, that is offered to the Guru. And Guru offers to his Guru, in this way it goes to Krishna. We don't directly offer to Radha Krishna. No, we have no right. Nor does Krishna accept in that way. The pictures of acharyas, why are they there? Actually, you have to offer the plate to your Guru, and he will offer it to his Guru, offer to his Guru, his Guru, his Guru, like that. And he will offer, in this way it will go to Krishna. That is the process. You cannot directly approach Krishna or producer acharyas. That is not possible. So one day, Prabhupada visited Hanuman Prasad Poddar. Mr. Poddar had been gravely ill for some time. He is the one who started Gita Press. But he came from Mayavad school. So being gravely ill for some time, but he was able to sit up and speak briefly with Prabhupada. As a pioneer of the Kalyan magazine, which printed installments of Mahabharata and other Vedic classics, Hanuman Prasad Poddar was the world-famous patron of Indian religious thought. His inexpensive Hindi Bhagavad Gita translation had been distributed by millions, so that even for a poor man could have a copy of Bhagavad Gita. Mr. Poddar had been friend to Srila Prabhupada when in 1962 Prabhupada had come to him in Gorakhpur and showed him his manuscripts for the first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. Appreciating the importance of the work, Mr. Poddar, by his word of approval, had helped Prabhupada get a donation for its printing from the Delhi industrialist Mr. Dalmia. Now, almost 10 years after, Prabhupada was showing Mr. Poddar his recently published book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the Nectar of Devotion, and his magazine, Back to Godhead. Mr. Poddar was impressed, and he and Prabhupada exchanged their sincere appreciation for each other's work. Mr. Suryakant Fogla is speaking. Hanuman Prasad Poddar was my grandfather, and he was very much ill at the time Prabhupada came here to meet him, and his bedroom upstairs. There are certain things which cannot be explained, but they were talking in the language with their eyes. My grandfather expressed some gratitude, some affection, some regard by his eyes, and Srila Prabhupada's reply was also in the same way. And the appreciation from both the sides could easily be seen and appreciated by the persons who were present. A lot of Prabhupada disciples were there, and everyone was almost in tears when the two saints, great people, met and talked to each other. They were talking about the spiritual world, and they were praising each other for their deeds. My grandfather was also saying that what Prabhupada had done is unforgettable for anyone of the world, because you take our Indian culture to the Western countries, the credit entirely goes to our beloved Srila Prabhupada. And he was the only person who took Radha Krishna and the holy name outside in such a way that nobody else could will be able to do in future. Since Mr. Poddar was ill and weak, Prabhupada left after about half an hour. Prabhupada had spent 2 weeks in Gorakhpur, and now he was eager to go to Mumbai, leaving 2 disciples behind to attend the deity worship and continue preaching in Gorakhpur. He left. So we stop here. That is the Gorakhpur episode. Somehow or another, I'm involved with Gorakhpurias in Thailand. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This one? 25, okay. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, chapter number 13, and text number 25. Sauvirpatir api sujana samavagata paramatma sattva atmani avidyadhyairopitam cha dehatma matim visasarja evam apendrupa bhagavad asritasritanubhava. Sauvirapatihi, the king of the state of Sauvira, means Saurashtra, Gujarat. Api, certainly, Sujana, from the elevated person, Samvagata, having completely understood, Paramatma Sasattva, the truth of the constitutional position of the spirit soul and the super soul, Atmani, in himself, Avidya, by nescience, adhyaropitam, erroneously attributed, cha and deha in the body, atma matim, the concept of the self, visasarja, completely gave up. Evam, this, he certainly, Nrupa, O king, bhagavata asrita asrita anubhavaha, the consequences of the taking shelter of a devotee who has similarly taken shelter of a spiritual master in the parampara system, one is sure to get out of the great nescience of bodily conception of life. The translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. After receiving lessons from great devotees, Jadbharat, King Rahugan, of that state of Sauvira became completely aware of his constitutional position of the soul, and he thus gave up the bodily conception completely. My dear king, whoever takes shelter of the servant of the Lord is certainly glorified because he can without difficulty give up the bodily conception. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter, 54th verse, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. It is a fact that if one takes shelter of the pure devotee, one attains all perfection, even if the association is short one. A sadhu is a pure devotee of the Lord, and it has been our practical experience that in the first instruction of our spiritual master infused us with Krishna consciousness, so that we are now at least on the path of Krishna consciousness and can understand the philosophy. As a result, there are many devotees engaged in Krishna consciousness movement. The whole world is revolving under the bodily conception. Therefore, there must be devotees all over the world to deliver people from the false bodily conception and fully engage them in Krishna consciousness. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुर्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So Jad Bharat is instructing Rahugan, because Rahugan, in the beginning, unaware of the saintliness of Jad Bharat, he mistreated him. Jad Bharat felt little insulted, but because he was a sadhu, he contained in himself, and he asked a very challenging situation about the soul. And the king is supposed to know if he's supposed to work out for the benefit of the people in general. So not only he has to provide the facility, but at the same time he himself has to be educated under Rajguru. And king must have a Rajguru. Nowadays in democracy, only demons are crazy, and they are not having anybody to guide them spiritually. It may be a personal habit that somebody approaches. But in India, it is so much still the same situation as it was before during time of Prabhupada, when he visits Gorakhpur, and so it is much of the same. And it continues now. It has become kind of tradition, a tradition, ignorant tradition, to visit the temple for political position. Some elections are going on, so they go to pray before the election starts. And if they win, they go again to pay their obeisances for thanking them, the deities. And Tirupati is very famous. One time in early days, Radhana Swami was taking the tour to Tirupati, and we were all there. I was also there. And somehow or another, even though we booked so many places, because we had about 700 people in our group, and about 6 bungalows, that can reside all the 700 people. They're big bungalows. They were reserved for us. But somehow or another, all 700 were preoccupied by the people of government positions, because their party representative won. So it has to be overridden, and we had to wait for the whole day. At the end of the day, we got our rooms. So meanwhile, anybody has to do anything, they can go out, but there no darshan, because special darshans are going on for diplomats, And This is the Sakam Buddhi. But again, it's constrained through mode of passion and ignorance. So naturally, their inclination should be succumb to Maya. That's why they are called Mayavadis. Even Gorakhpur incidents, Srila Prabhupada stayed for 2 weeks in Gorakhpur. And we can appreciate that how Prabhupada interacted with Mayavadis. You know, Prabhupada wanted help from anybody to induct Krishna consciousness, even in India. And because Gorakhpur being the place where all these literatures are coming out, and Hanuman Prasad Poddar, he was the founder. Actually, when Krishna Janmabhoomi in Mathura was also given a side-by-side permission to construct a temple, that Gita Press Gorakhpur came forward. And the whole Dalmias and Hanuman Prasad Poddar and his business enterprises, you know, they have a tradition, they are religious, but they are Mayavadis. But they came together to even erect a big temple, you know. But again, people are dissatisfied. They want the whole of, and now this movement is going on and about how to occupy that mosque that Muslim built. And they claim it is the place of Krishna Janmasthan. We are being cheated. Actually, it is inside. So, even though Krishna is tricking both atheists as well as Mayavadis in the same way. Let them fight, we will see. In this Yogi Adityanath is from Gorakhpur, and they are hard-headed. Sadhus with lot of Kshatriya spirit. So naturally, spiritually, and we can't say that they are surrendered to Krishna and his cause, but they become religiously hypervented and can stir up the movement. So it's a passionate nature. Otherwise, how Yogi Adityanath is known to execute the order of government by bulldozing. Anyone who has committed crime, you know, his property will be razed. He can't escape. And there are so many mafias in Uttar Pradesh, and Gorakhpur is not even spared. Of course, Mayavad is very strong. Impersonalism and Mayavad. Prabhupada was facing that. Now, Prabhupada is talking in the Lilamrita about we acquired a temple and he leaves behind him a couple of pujaris to keep on attending. But that temple was also gone after some time, after Prabhupada left the body. So we didn't have anything, no preaching even. But somehow or another, now with the attempts of devotees, you know, we got the land and they want to make a big one. But to confront or to tackle or to introduce preaching, even Gorakhpuriyas are very doubtful. I'll give you some example about how the preaching is done. Gorakhpuriyas are mixed in devotion. They are not specific on Krishna. They are religious, They believe in a lot of demigod worships, So, one of our early devotees who went to Thailand, he has to succumb to make a Hinduistic type of temple, not on the word of Srila Prabhupada. And he's still running it. Of course, he doesn't come under the organized ISKCON society. Neither he has any registration to go for. But he was doing all this business in name of ISKCON. The way he was unable to inculcate pure teachings of Srila Prabhupada, even though in very young age he became disciple, because his entire family is disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He's a Bengali, from Mayapur. So, but he was allured by mode of passion and did all the unwanted things, accumulating money, never purchased a property, never nothing. And he has been still existing. And these Gorakhpuriyas, they were helping because he was satisfying their, aptitude. So actually he was overpowered by Mayavad philosophy instead of pure Prabhupada's teachings. So that doesn't make ISKCON successful. So some of the Gorakhpuriyas are extremely rich. They have big industries, chemical factories and so forth and so on. And we happen to develop some relationship because Indian community preaching was completely zero all these years. So when this interaction between, this hodgepodge situation and some of the people who read Srila Prabhupada's book, because they became life member from Delhi, but they see ISKCON is not present here. But ISKCON was busy establishing its roots. And most of the devotees that are made are still coming from Nepal, Burma, Hindus, those who are displaced. And they take up Krishna consciousness very easy because they are familiar, both in Burma as well as in Nepal. Our ISKCON is present, right? So in this way, Burmese Nepali Indians, or what we call Hindus, those became devotees. They come cross the border for some better situation. Burma is in turmoil, you can say, but at the same time, they escape to Thailand. But they end up getting jobs at the Hindu conglomerates. The girls get the job of housekeepers, maybe cooking, but they are not paid much, 15,000 Thai baht per month is peanuts, but they stay together, they attend the temple together, and even the temple is small for them now. There are more than 700-800 initiated devotees there. There are 4, Jayapataka Maharaj, myself, Bibi Nrsimha Maharaj, and Kevachandra Maharaj. Kevachandra Maharaj has been co-GBC there, but he preaches. He has many disciples in Japan and elsewhere, but not in Thailand. So I respond, Hinduistic aspect is there. They are doing good with foreign aspect. He has many disciples in Japan, but not in Thailand. So the idea is that the preaching of Krishna consciousness needs a lot of, dovetailing according to the response of the people. So Prabhupada's preaching is very straightforward. And how come this straightforward preaching was not introduced? Even Srila Prabhupada desired to have temple since 1974. Since 1974, Prabhupada desired. One of my godbrother, his name is Vedavyasapriya Swami. He was from Venezuela in South America. He would come to from New York to India to help Srila Prabhupada because everybody would come. But he was little fickle. Alone he cannot do much. So one time he has to come to Thailand to renew his visa to come back to India. So Prabhupada said, you stay there. Don't come to India. And he got afraid. My God, this is the wilderness, who knows what. And somehow or another, as fickle was our son, sannyasi, Vedavyasapriya Swami, he ran away. He neither went to India back, and that was his last trip probably. This was in 74. But he was helping to make Hyderabad temple, But anyway, Vedavyasapriya Swami, I don't think he is there anymore. He left the body also, as far as I remember. So many years have been passed. But anyway, what we can see the impact in preaching in Thailand, especially to Gorakhpuria. Oh my God. When we started during the time of Corona, only 5 years back, we started making groups of devotees. But as the habit goes, they interject with everything. They say ISKCON is also a hodgepodge organization like them. So they will interject some kind of comments or demigod worship and everything, And I said, this is the root cause that they cannot be trained up. Gorakhpur is in the area of called Mithila. Many Mithila is also migrated to Fiji, right? Yeah, there are, and the Bhasha or the language is, of course, having some impression of Maithili. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also very fond of Maithili. And there are two important poets, Chandidas and Vidyapati. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu liked their songs very much because they are very instructive. And there is a section of not actual Vaishnavites, but still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appreciates them. And songs are there in our songbook. Tatale Vari Bindus Sutamita Ramani Samaje. How to hit the bodily conception of life. They say, in the scorching desert, a drop of water gives that much pleasure. It is available in the material world with having children, wife, society. Actually, we are suffering and our thirst, our life's desire cannot be quenched. till we get into the Krishna consciousness. So naturally, Prabhupada's preaching was so direct towards Krishna consciousness because everything is failing. And that conclusion that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought, how to revive Krishna consciousness, 7 except the name of Krishna has the potency to do. In this Kali Yuga, no other method can be able be helpful. So, because this is an eternal teaching, and Rahugan is coming from Sauvir, that is Saurashtra, and he is the king of that. Of course, Saurashtra, where Dwarka is also situated. So, he was pious, but at the same time he was Rajoguni. Pious people are supposed to be in mode of goodness. But because of his position and influence, he was going in the Palkin, and Jada Bharat had been a replacement by misunderstanding or providence of Krishna, whatever it is. But till this time, meeting with Jada Bharat, prior to that, he had no contact. He was not able to speak because he took up a vow or just remain imbecile, idiotic nature. Idiotic nature doesn't behave bad, but he would completely remain aloof by not listening anything, and speaking about. So he is like a jad. Jad means very stubborn. There are vows taken, and they are very stubborn vows. That people want to achieve something by those kind of vows. But 7 except achieving Krishna, anything that is Mayavad. So Jada Bharat took the vow that in this particular life he will not succumb to the effect of the 3 modes of material nature, or anyone can influence him. All right? Because he is well aware of Atma Tattva. Even in the life of deer, he was well aware. And therefore, he lived a natural life, and then he was fortunate enough to get another human birth, but he was conscious. He was conscious. So, such a person is beyond the bodily conception of life, right from the beginning. And Jada Bharat got occasion to carry the palanquin in place of somebody got, to be replaced. So Jada Bharat is walking very carefully, seeing the ants are passing through. So deliberately he doesn't want to step on the ants. So he was jumping, and that was disturbing the palanquin, and Rahuganu would strike his head against the roof of the palanquin. And he says, "Who is this? Who is disturbing me?" And they said, "This new man." And they started scolding him, walk straight. But actually he was walking very straight, very much conscious. And that is called true walking, that you do not know, even knowingly or unknowingly commit sinful activities. Right? So, but hitting on the head of Rahugan, is not a sinful activity. But the king, in his passionate nature, became angry because it's a disturbance. And up till now, everything was running smooth. And who is this guy? So, Rahugan needed to be chastised, so he has to come down. He didn't start chastising Rahugan. Rahugan did not start chastising from the palkin itself. He has to come down to show his muscle power, everything. So, but Rahugan was completely astounded. But Jadbharat started preaching him. Probably in this life you are king, but you do not know what was on your next. The purpose of life for anybody, whether a king or a pauper, should be to liberate himself and go back home, back to Godhead. Oh my God. It's a direct preaching. There is nothing indirect. Okay, you do pious activity, what do you do then? Even to the pious people, this direct preaching is very effective. And Prabhupada adopted that. Unless and until we preach directly Krishna consciousness, because all potencies are in the holy name. So why do we have to make device as a compromise with attracting more people? We are not accommodating a hodgepodge situation that we read in even Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada's Lilamritam. And in this episode, Rahugan was completely, overwhelmed by the preaching. He begged not only the forgiveness of Jadbharat, but at the same time he surrendered to him so he can instruct him more. Whatever was essential to preach, Jadbharat did it and then went on his own way. That's a sadhu, and here Prabhupada is quoting that sadhu sanga, sarva shastra koe, lava matra sadhu sanga, sarva siddhi hoy. Lava is a measurement, it's a fraction of a second, it's called lava. This is the old Vedic way of calculating the time. There's a whole chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam that measurement of time by displacement of an atom, and the early fractionations of the time is in different kinds of measures. And they are all fractions of a fraction of a fraction. Ultimately, lava is a fraction of a second. Okay? So, all that much association is enough to make our life perfect. Even those who have so much association of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was kind enough not to discriminate whether they are adoptive or not. They may not respond, but Prabhupada gave them enough, association. Those who were serious, they take up and they committed themselves to that. Even though bypassing so many traditional understandings, this is the direct preaching effect. So this is what is wanted. It means there is every hope that those who are not having personal association of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada said, my books are there. You associate with them. You will associate with me. If the creation of Krishna is there for the purpose it has been created for. If living entity, or human being especially, take up the serious way to how to come out from the material world. This material world has been a prison house. It is created for temporary period. It's not a permanent thing, but yet people want to live permanently. And they say, what is your permanent address? What is your permanent address? One time, when I was in Bharatpur, I came back from Bharatpur to Vrindavan, and I received a postcard. A nearby town of Delhi called Rewari. They are also little notorious, religiously notorious people. He said, Swamiji, I want to know the address of Narad Muni. I want to know the address of Narad Muni. I don't know from where he got the idea. I said, then I told him, you know the address of Lord Krishna, don't you? Write at the address to Narad Muni, care of Lord Krishna, and Golok Vrindavan. And it will reach to Narad Muni, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his servants will be also there. And he will get it. He never responded me back again. So these people are clever to play game with the, religion even. So this is Mayavad. And instead of surrendering, anybody can surrender to Lord Shri Krishna. Even those who are not learned, not from that. That is called, there is no denomination. No locale is important. Krishna consciousness is a worldwide movement because of universal application. Krishna is for everyone. It does not belong to India. That was the situation. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, okay, if Indians are not going to take, I will go. That's how my spiritual master ordered me. So everything is in order of the spiritual master. Jad Bharat being spiritual master of Rahugan, Rahugan's life became successful. Right? So in this way, this particular chapter glorifies the direct preaching of Jad Bharat about Atma Tattva, and Rahugan thus got benefited. It is the we were talking on Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, why it is Sarva Siddhi Hoy. We accept, okay, theoretically, if a pure devotee's association is just for a second, all the, success is there. Why? No, everything starts from Sadhu Sangha. How will you get even faith without Sadhu Sangha? Every process starts with the Sadhu Sangha. So the kind of Sangha you have, you will become. A man is known by the company he keeps. right? If we keep the company of sadhus, our life will be perfected. But what is a sadhu? A sadhu must be liberated from the bodily conception of life, and he must be very progressive towards going back home, back to Godhead. It's a direct station, not intermediary stations. The one who goes directly, and if they preach direct without any guile, any such preaching is very powerful. Prabhupada spoke so much directly. There is no need of interpretation. There is no need of interpretation. Preach directly. Explain directly. So much is given, but we see that subject matter of, say, chanting of the holy name. Nama chintamani krishnasya chaitanya rasa vigraha purna shuddha nitya mukta abhinnatvam nama namino. So, even though everything is explained, but if we accept the name, but what kind of faith is required? And why sadhu sangha? That was the first instruction Kapil Dev gave to Mother Devahuti. Satam prasangam mama virya samvida bhavanti radkarna rasayana katha tajjoshana vam apavarga vartamani shraddharati bhaktir anukramashyati. This is an irrevocable fact. Irrevocable fact. And pure devotional service will be established in the heart. So, hearing from sadhus, Shrunvatam Swakatham Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Radayantasya Hya Bhadrani Vidunoti. This is a direct perception. You do not need anything that has been accumulated in your psyche from birth after birth. So, the transcendental nature of the holy name which is imparted by the sadhu, or during the katha, or anything pertaining to Lord Shri Krishna and his glorification, is so much powerful in itself that it starts cleansing our consciousness and establish ourselves. Surit Satam. Surit means well-wisher, and Satam means unless and until we are totally purified, we cannot become anybody's well-wisher, ultimate well-wisher. Forever, Prabhupada says, forever your well-wisher. So, then nashtaprayashu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. If we are regulated in the practice, then automatically the momentum will come, and all the subordinate natures of Rajogun, Tamogun will be subsided, and more of goodness will be predominant. And that means a person is getting direct perception of pleasure. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. It's just like chain reaction. It's a direct perception. Doesn't allow you to think one after another transformations. So, establishment of bhakti, if we continue without any interruption, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, then establishment of bhakti will become an irrevocable fact. You cannot take it out. It will chase you even you stop association with the devotees. It will make you suffocate to go back. So like that, Krishna's energies, his potencies are invested in his holy names, and how they are acting to purify us as a transcendental understanding or process can be. So, such process brings about your true self, face to face with the Lord in your heart, Paramatma. So you have direct perception of yourself as well as Paramatma. Drashta evatmanishvare. Yourself, it means you were not able to see yourself except in mirror, which is mirror image, is always up other way around. But you see yourself face to face, along with the Paramatma, that is the farthest expansion of Lord Shri Krishna. And his form is Chaturbhuj, standing before, as on the lotus, having Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. So direct perception is being taught. Because there is nobody in between required. Spiritual master doesn't come in the way of having this audience with the Lord. But we are grateful because he inducted the process in us. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, in this way, all the successful Mahajanas preaching in Srimad Bhagavatam gave the direct perception of Lord Shri Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead. Well, and that makes the preaching worth even. Phalena parichiyate, we should observe by the result. And this is how Srila Prabhupada insisted to work out in ISKCON. So, anybody has any question or comments? Yes, Prabhu. Is it the physical association more important? No. You associate with Vani because Prabhupada spoke very precisely. Very precisely. It does not require much interpretations. Everybody could understand his English. Not complicated English like British or even American slang, nothing. So, words spoken precisely is the true eloquence. And in the beginning, we may try to explain ourselves, but no, we have to give up that habit. We have to explain as it is. Prabhupada says, simply repeat after me, if you do not know. And that will work. Because he spoke very precisely. His words do not need to be reinterpreted. Prabhupada wrote, not according to time, place, and circumstances. So, our perception is an individual according to our influence of three modes of material nature. So we take time. But have patience. The words spoken so precisely, they are so powerful, they will be overcoming even the mode of goodness and will make you understand. Otherwise, there was another sentiment by many scholars that when you read Bhagavad Gita over and over again, you will have a different meaning every time. And you can interpret. So, what should we understand? Unless and until the process of purification is continued, then the effect of three modes of material nature will also dissipate. Suppose if I am listening, but I am in mode of ignorance, predominant mode of ignorance, my perception would be also tainted with ignorance. So when I hear the same verse again, if mode of ignorance is less, then a different perception will be there. So while we are, studying Bhagavad Gita all the way up to Anartha Nivritti, because we are not liberated from bodily conception of life, and bodily conception of life is under the influence of the three modes of material nature. So through that period, we will have different kinds of understanding. But the maturity of understanding comes in surrender to Krishna. And surrendering process and pure devotional service can only work after getting liberated from the bodily conception at all. So no effect of the three modes of material nature will be there. And that realization is more important than what we have been going through in developing stages. Right? Our real life of devotional service will start only after liberation. But this is not fake. What we are doing is not fake, because it is always upgraded and pushing us to become more serious, like that. Any other question? Yes? Yes. But he begged his forgiveness. That means no aparad anymore. And Jad Bharat accepted that. That is the remedy. And unless and until, if Rahugan is not religious or doesn't know this, how could he came down and apologize him? Yes. I could understand some, but you tell me.
Prabhupada said that, sorry, you mentioned that we should be preach direct. But is there some, to accommodate people, is there some balance that we can take?
Can you trade absolute truth with something else? Then why not direct? Huh? Even there are so many different stages because of our association with the three modes of material nature, and from time immemorial. Just like Shraddha Abhas is there, like Namabhas is there, Shraddha Abhas is there. It's a shadow still. But more we chant, more we will be able to eradicate those. And it will be a reciprocatory thing. So, we cannot have a kind of a mixed application. Okay, oh, you come from Mayavad, okay, you want to have some Mayavad still? Okay. No. Call spade a spade. Because why, if we know the ignorance is no excuse, then why are we giving more opportunity to make them or remain in ignorance further? Whether he accepts or not, that's all right. But there should be direct preaching. That's me. My sugar is high. Yes, Brahma. I lost my hearing aids, and I have to work hard before I answer you. Yeah, you can come nearby. Sorry to trouble you. जारे देखा तारे कह कृष्ण उपदेश. That is the direct preaching. Krishna doesn't tell or preach about Vrindavan. or allure them about, because that also creates a lot of misunderstanding. One time, I was standing in front of Srila Prabhupada's quarters in Vrindavan under that tree, Bakula tree. And we were discussing something. One Russian devotee came. Maharajas, please help me. Where is Vrindavan? I said, you are in Vrindavan? He said, no, this is an ordinary village. Huh? It's an ordinary village. I don't see any difference. And we said, Prabhu, you know Vrindavan atmosphere? Here the atmosphere is polluted, but does it mean that there is no Vrindavan here? If you get a shadow, can you guess whose shadow is? If you have learnt, Vrindavan is created within the heart to see. Krishna is not going to appear and playing flute for you. No. The innermost consciousness, the place is Vrindavan. And we learn here because Krishna appeared here and he left a shadow here. From shadow we can understand the shape. So we can also understand the subject also. Because after all, Vrindavan is eternally existing and Krishna brought it here. Because otherwise he would not leave a step outside of Vrindavan. He had to bring the whole Vrindavan here. Suppose you go to get a job somewhere, you take all essentials with you because you do not know what you will be getting there. So similarly, when you come prepared to develop Vrindavan within your own consciousness, in your own heart, then those traits that create the spiritual nature of Vrindavan must be cultivated by spiritual energy plus spiritual modes. Right now, our bodily conception of life is having three material modes governing all our activities. But Vrindavan is a spiritual subject matter. So we have to cultivate spiritual modes. Do you know which are the three spiritual modes? Have you heard Satchidanand mode? Here we have Sattva, Raja and Tama Gun, three modes. But they are direct opposite reflections of the spiritual modes. So you can replace and create Vrindavan. The spiritual energy, its potency is there. You are getting through holy name. So if you chant purely, beyond the mode of goodness, then Vrindavan will appear very fast. But to subdue other lower modes like passion and ignorance, you have to stay at least in mode of goodness and slowly cultivate the spiritual mode. Then Vrindavan will be there. Here the sadhus come to do that practice. Everybody cannot be perfected right now, but this is the perfect process is given to cultivate. So you have to see through the eyes anointed with love of Godhead. Where is Vrindavan? For that your Russia will be also, you will have to create a Vrindavan there. At least it introduce to a lot of people about Vrindavan that you realize. Prabhupada introduced Vrindavan everywhere, all over the planet. Because that atmosphere of Vrindavan is to be cultivated. Otherwise, people will understand superficially about the place Vrindavan. They think it is one of the town. Many people who want to come and stay in Vrindavan, but it is becoming harder and harder. In 2004, we acquired one apartment, 2-bedroom apartment with my godbrother. It was 14 lakhs. Right now, 2 crores. Do you think we'll have inspiration to create Vrindavan in Vrindavan, where real estate is booming like anything? And who are from all outside, they come to invest. And who is going to take? Our ISKCON devotees will take. They have money. That's how everything is going on now. No jungles, no peacocks. Even the monkeys are disappearing, they say. Only one monkey is here. He is from Vrindavan. He is born in Vrindavan, right? So, this is how people are, if they do not know how to cultivate their inner consciousness or purified consciousness to see Vrindavan, to make Vrindavan, as a grilling exercises too. There are no intermediary ways to, it's a direct perception. Pratyaksha avagamam dharmam susukham kartum avyam. It should happen right before our eyes, not make-believe Cinderella story. Any other question or comments? Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki